I was going to bring this up at the start until you sidetracked me over there, but Brian, we've talked about how in over the years, and I think everybody could agree that this is a fact. I'm not making a controversial statement here. I have been in literally thousands of production meetings and creative meetings and booking meetings, as we used to call them, and meetings where people pitched ideas, right? Over the years, just the hundreds and hundreds of TV tapings and pay-per-views and fucking blah, 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 and thousands of hours, blah. And I will admit that besides, obviously, there's always the crazy idea pitched out there by the pitcher that everybody doesn't bother to swing at at all and just goes on about their business, right? But of a serious pitch that someone else besides the pitcher actually got on board with and said, there's something to this. Let's debate this idea, right? Of any serious pitch, everybody, even Shitstain, when he pitched the Brawl for All, it sounded to his audience of one Vince McMahon, it sounded like there was something to it because he appealed to, he and the other Vince shared the adolescent masculinity issues or whatever, because he said, yeah, we're going to find out, bro, which one of these guys is really tough, or however the fuck he talks. Well, I can't
Not
do
like
it.
that.
Well, and and so there's always something you can say that, okay, that idea that more than one person, maybe a few people, maybe several people got on board with and thought something of. It sounded good when they pitched it, but it didn't translate in the execution by one or more of the parties, or it was done by the wrong people entirely, or in the wrong place, or with the wrong psychology. There's something, or some way you could say several people this passed through their hands, and all of them found enough of a positive in it to attempt it. Right? You see what I'm saying? In this case, how the fuck did anyone other than the little pitchers with big ears, as Mama Cornette used to say, think that this was in any way a good idea and got other people, including the owner of the fucking company, who now looks like Tony Clown. He might as well change his name on his birth certificate to go along with this. I'm astonished. There's always some element of you can look back on something and say, well, I see what they were trying to do, but boy, it sucked. Or some element of reason. But I've never seen it like television promotional suicide where, they died by their own hands. And there's no way that you can look back on the presentation now and go, well, if they'd have just done it better, what was there to do? What was there to do?
It's one of the most amazing misfires ever. Because like you said, as soon as you heard they're going to do it, there were two camps. You either groaned and went, oh, really? That doesn't make much sense. Or you said, yeah, this'll show them. He isn't tough. Jack Perry got away quick.
with people prying on him.
So, as soon as they announced it, the story became, why are they going to do this? What are they going to gain from it? And the more you thought about it, unless it showed like Punk running away in pigtails, there was nothing that was going to hurt Punk in this. And it hurt them. It hurt the company in every single way. And if Tony Khan has anyone he's talking to who didn't tell him in advance, this is a really, really bad idea, you shouldn't do this, then we have a problem. And it's a bigger problem if Tony Khan is hearing that from people and pushing that to the side to do this kind of thing. Beyond this, and we're going to get to it all very, very short. We're going to go right into it very shortly.
Yeah.
It was an all-time disaster of a Dynamite.
Well, you know what we've done also though is we've AEW'd the people. We've Tony Khan the people. For the people who don't know what we're talking about, they don't know what we're fucking talking about. And we've done about as good a job explaining it as they did the other night. So we will we will back up now for after we've had our frivolity, because goddamn, would something like the self-inflicted wounds in the nuts with the Don LePray and his tiny little cuts.
Well, let's talk about what we're talking about, Jim. Well, what we're talking about, Jim, of course, is AEW's decision to air the surveillance footage from Wembley Stadium, backstage, all in, of CM Punk confronting Jack Perry after Jack Perry's match before CM Punk's match, which was the start of the pay-per-view event. This footage is something that we heard was out there in September. We talked about it. The clip is out there. You should go check that out. But we hear about all this, and this is coming off a period of time where AEW, you said it, self-inflicted wounds. Don LePray, self-inflicted wounds that are growing. You can't figure out why. Let's remind everyone, this is the second week in a row they've donated time on their show to CM Punk. CM Punk was in the top angle on both wrestling promotion shows this week. And